Well, would you look at that? It's not really a stationary baler anymore. How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today I'm going to show you how you can take a new GÖWEIL DLC static baler and make it modular. Now, it takes a little bit, and you've got to be patient with it. But if you get this done right, you can absolutely take this thing in the field and make the bales for you, chaff bales, while you're cutting. Instead of having to bring all your product back over to it, you bring it out to the field. And the first thing you're going to need is one of the Vario Master V140s or the LT Master F115. We're going to go and go with the 140 right here. And then what I want to do on the wrapper design, I want to go ahead and make this with bale on in turner. All right, that's going to be very, very important. That's going to be where the bales come out. It's actually going to turn it on its side and drop it down. You're going to want that on this setup here, right here. Foil color doesn't matter. And if you do the silage additive take, it's going to give you an extra yield, so you might as well. The next thing you're going to need is a low loader, and I've been having a lot of luck with the steel drop deck right here by Demco on the design. I'm going to go ahead and leave this without any extension on it. Rim color doesn't matter, so let's go ahead and get one of these too. Next, you're going to want to come over here to Dolly's, and you're going to want to get one of the Crompies right here. Now, you can get one of the other ones. I'm just going to be using base game equipment here. Tires doesn't matter. Wheel setup does not matter, so get you one of these. Go ahead and get your favorite forage harvester. Now, the one thing you're going to need to keep in mind is you need a lot of horsepower. I'm going to go with the New Holland right here. It's got 775, but if you kind of get into some hills and things like that, you might want to think about jumping up to the big X1180 here because it's got 1156. We're going to stick with the New Holland right here. I'm not going to do anything to it. It's perfect the way it is. To go with that forage harvester, you're going to need a forage header. I'm going to use the 9 meter right here because it's going to make a big enough path for me to make enough room for the other pieces of equipment to kind of hang off the trailer a little bit, like you saw in the beginning of this video. Now, you can go wider if you want to, but you're probably going to have to slow down, and it's going to be a little bit less efficient for you to be able to do that. And I'm going to show you why here in a little bit. Now you've got your equipment. You need to go ahead and put your header on your harvester and go ahead and put this dolly underneath your trailer. Now you are going to be able to hook up this dolly to the back of your harvester right here. And then you've got to get the baler on here. Let me show you a trick. And that's going to be to use the modular ramps and platforms pack. Now this is by Matzenbrot, and it's available for all platforms on the mod hub. So how you find it, you come down here into tools under your buildings, and then you come across until you find these different pieces right here. The two that I've already got in front of you are the concrete platform right here. Now if it says that it overlaps with another object, well, all you have to do is just hit your triangle and it's going to let you place it anywhere you want to. But I don't want that one. I've already got two of those. I want one of these ramps. Now the little bitty one right here, it's really too steep of an incline to be able to get this up there properly, and so is your medium ramp. So I'm going with a large concrete ramp right here, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and just spin this thing around until it's right at the right angle that I need. Now it's a little bit tricky sometimes, right? So what I want to do is go ahead and hit my triangle button again, and right in there looks really, really good. And as you can see, it lined up really, really well. I don't have any sort of edge or anything like that. And I've got this nice edge right here that I'm going to be able to drive along with my equipment. So I'm going to get as close as I can here to this ramp. My trailer, I'm going to get it as close as I can as well. I'm going to come all the way down here till right about there. Now this next part, it's tricky and it's going to take some time to maybe get it positioned in the right spot. But what you want to do is go ahead and back this all the way up onto this platform, and then you're going to back it over onto the trailer. Now it's not going to seem like it's like in the right spot, right? But you kind of want it so that whenever you unfold that area down there, it's going to go up on top of that platform. So I'm a little bit too far back right now. So I'm going to redo this, go a little bit more this way. And yeah, I mean, it's getting closer, right? So it just takes a little bit to get it on here in the right spot. And I'm going to show you exactly what it's supposed to look like once we are good here. So I've repositioned it a couple different times, and this is the look that you want right here. These bales are definitely hanging over the edge all the way right here, and your tires here, you know, they're all the way here on this side, and this is hanging over pretty good, but it's not gonna connect or hit right there. That's the way you want this to look. And the last item to make this work the way that it needs to is go down to miscellaneous and then go over to your art and PTO. It's only going to cost you $4,500. We're going to go and get this just as it is right now. And this has got 405 horsepower. It's more than enough to power your baler. And what you're going to do is go ahead and back this up until it's right up here on your platform as well. Hook it right here with your baler. So you're good there. All right, perfect. Now go ahead and make sure you're on the generator right here, and you want to go ahead and turn it on. All right, so start engine, and then I'm actually going to go ahead and just disconnect, because now it is running and I've got enough power that I'm going to be able to power this piece of equipment right here. So next thing, I'm going to go right here on this side, hit my L1, and I'm actually going to turn on the baler right now. Let's hop into the harvester here and go ahead and lock everything down in place. I'm going to hold my R1 and hit my R3, and now everything is exactly where it's supposed to be. Another thing I want to do is go ahead and fold up my ramps here on the low loader. It might contact a little bit, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Now I'm ready to go out into the field. So you could see that as soon as I drop off this, we are good to go here. All right. So everything back there is now running, okay? And it's not showing anything in my symbols up at the top because it's not actually connected to this. It's its own operating unit on top of this unit. So what I want to do is go ahead and unfold, and I'm going to get lined up right here on the edge of this corn field right here. And we're going to go ahead and start putting product into the hopper area here of the baler. So you can see that I'm turned on. Let's go ahead and get the harvester going now. And as I start to pull forward, you are going to see that this thing is going to go ahead and start to fill up, and it's going to go ahead and start making bales. Now, since I'm in proximity and I'm actually the first piece of equipment in the chain of the baler now, because I'm feeding into it, it's going to show me what's happening with my bales. Now, this is the part that is going to be a little bit tricky, and you might have a few times where you kind of have to move this thing around a little bit. But as you can see right now, we're making a bale. All right, we got white wrapping on it. Now it should continue to roll over the edge here and then get dropped down. So there we go. Perfect. So I got this in the absolute perfect position. And there we go. And that is how easy, I say easy because, you know, once you get this thing set up, it is truly easy. And you can see that we really do need that whole width. That way we're not knocking down anything, you know, you're not running over your corn or anything like that. This baler setup does take quite a bit of space to be able to do, but I found that if I don't want to have to continually run everything back and forth, if I'm playing single player and I don't want to keep running that truck back and forth, I can just do this right here. You know, if you like the multiplayer aspect of the gaming, I definitely, you know, think that you should try to bale it statically over at your bale storage place. But if you're playing solo, this might be the way for you because it's going to eliminate a lot of trips. Now you're still going to have to come back by and pick them up. But I mean, auto baler or the other baler that you've got with the 24 bales or whatever you get to be able to collect these, it's going to be a lot less trips for you, a lot less headache. And you might be wondering, well, does this work with a worker? Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and hire a worker right now. They're going to go ahead and do their thing. All right, now I'm not in control at all. I'm going to go and zoom in here so you can see this is not me. That's not my character. All right, as we get to the end here, I want you to watch and see what's going to happen. It's not always a great turnaround here for the worker because they're used to just being able to flip right around, right? And as you can see, it doesn't quite do that. You've got to make a little bit wider arc with this thing. So we're going to go ahead and actually fold up the header here so I can actually get this worker out of the jam that they're in. Yeah, I wouldn't use a worker unless you're going in a perfectly straight line. Don't use a worker. Just do it yourself and you'll be fine. Now, I do have a worker in here right now because I want to show you what's going to happen whenever we get this hopper area full right here. All right, so I'm coming up on 25,000 liters. It's going to go ahead and start making me a bale, so it's going to stay about even. All right, but as soon as that bale is done being made, then this hopper is going to keep filling up and filling up and filling up. And whenever it gets completely full, then what's going to happen is the whole machine is actually going to slow down. So you can see now we've made it up to about 34,000, 35,000. It's going to go ahead and start making another bale. So here on this next round, it should get to the point where it says I'm full, and it's going to go ahead and actually slow down or stop the machine from moving any farther. Your worker is going to be smart enough to realize that here, yes, right here. You see that? That's not me. The worker is in there, and we're at 40,000 liters. So as soon as this next bale starts being made, it's going to start moving again, just like that. So if you want to put this thing on some long runs, go for it. If you're doing it yourself, be very, very careful, because a chopper is just going to keep chopping, and it's not actually going to put any of that product back into that hopper because you don't have capacity for it. I'm going to show you what's going to happen if you don't have enough room underneath your bale drop right here to be able to put down a bale. So it's going to go ahead and wrap, and then it should move, try to move back, but it's not going to be able to. And yeah, if I get out and I move back here, I'm going to get this message, right? If I come around right here, the drop area is blocked by another object, and that's because my other bale's right there. Well, if I hop back into my vehicle right here and I just pull forward a little bit more, watch that, boom. Now it's going to go ahead and drop, no problem. You know, it's a little bit of a difficult task to get that baler up on there, but once you do, man, this is such a great way to be able to play single player. And I wonder if there's any more single player hacks out here for this DLC.